And at number 10, we have DogMan Mothering Heights. I should probably talk about the things I like before I talk about the many negatives. The illustrations are by far the best the series has ever had. I'm not joking. They are incredible. Especially the ending during the night sky. Yeah, just incredible. What I also like is the callbacks to older books, like the Living Spray, the Cannery Go, the Word Be Gone 2000, and the Love Ray. What I also liked was PD's backstory, and how he became evil. And I think that was it. Now on to the bad parts, and trust me, there are a lot of bad parts in this book. One of the problems I've had is where Chief goes to rescue Millie and Dogman, but when he rescues them and cuts the rope, he catches Dogman, but not Millie. And it's like, Chief, this cop has been by your side. Remember when she helped you capture the fleas and beat them up? Remember that? You know, while Dogman was out chasing squirrels? Apparently he didn't because that's what I've wondered. He seems to value Dogman over the other cops. Because in this scene, like, where he, like, rushes to the hospital when Dogman gets hurt, which makes sense because he's his best friend. But isn't Millie also his friend? Isn't Millie also his friend? So, like, that's what I'm assuming. Like, you think he'd do the same for one of his other friends? But no, he probably just do it only for Dogman. Like, thinking that would happen. He'd probably just, like, take his time to put on some clothes. And probably not rush to the hospital to see how they're doing, and then just go see how they're doing. Now on to the bad parts, and trust me, there are a lot of bad parts in this book. One of the problems I've had is where Chief goes to rescue Millie and Dogman, but when he rescues them and cuts the rope, he catches Dogman, but not Millie. And it's like, Chief, this cop has been by your side. Remember when she helped you capture the fleas and beat them up? Remember that? You know, while Dogman was out chasing squirrels? Apparently he didn't because that's what I've wondered. He seems to value Dogman over the other cops. Because in this scene, like, where he, like, rushes to the hospital when Dogman gets hurt, which makes sense because he's his best friend. But isn't Millie also his friend? Isn't Millie also his friend? So, like, that's what I'm assuming. Like, you think he'd do the same for one of his other friends? But no, he probably just do it only for Dogman. Like, thinking that would happen. He'd probably just, like, take his time to put on some clothes. And probably not rush to the hospital to see how they're doing, and then just go see how they're doing. Then I have a problem with is the villains. Yeah, the villains in this book, aka some of the worst villains Dave Pilkey has ever created. Like, seriously, Dave Pilkey, is this seriously all you can come up with? Sippy cups? Seriously? Maybe have Grandpa do his evil plan or something. Like, maybe, like, have it, like, build up during the beginning and have it happen at the end during the climax. Such a missed opportunity, Dave Pilkey. Oh, and also the title was kind of misleading. It says Dogman. It's on the cover. It's not called PD, it's not called Little PD, it's not called Molly. It's called Dogman, so we expect to see Dogman as the main focus. This is a problem that kind of started in book 3, but got worse over time. Dogman became less and less of a focus in the later books, compared to the earlier books. Dogman, he's just a B plot, aka a background character. You just cut him out and barely anything would change. What I also don't like is that stupid song at the end. You know, where Molly is shredding up the sippy cups. Also, I know the plot contrivances with the illustrations. Like, when it shows Little P and Molly going downstairs when they leave their stupid sippy cups, it shows them going down into a part of the lab where the Marquette is being worked on. But when we see Commander Cupcake, aka Big Jim, and Grandpa go inside, they're at the top of the sippy cups are at the top of the stairs. And when he trips on the stairs, they're somehow in the place where he keeps all his inventions. And the sippy cups are by the front door, instead of by the hallway, by the kitchen. What I also hate is Little PD and Molly. They are at their most annoying, with Little PD being at his absolute worst. Not quite with Molly, but she's getting there. They constantly interrupt PD with their stupid poop jokes. Ruin his interview multiple times, and they won't leave PD alone. They continuously bother him, which makes him even more madder. It's as if they want him to get mad at them, because they enjoy watching him get angry. You know what the worst part is? They're aware that they're ruining PD's interview. They're aware that PD says they're gonna ruin everything, and they know they're gonna ruin everything. So instead of trying to trying to prevent that from happening, they end up ruining everything. Thanks to their carelessness with their sippy cups, even though PD told them to leave them on the floor. Thanks to their careless actions, PD's lab got destroyed because, you know what, I'm gonna tell you this. I'll tell you who's responsible for PD's lab getting destroyed. You would say it would be Grandpa and Big Jim. But you know who's also responsible for this? You guessed it, Little PD and Molly. Because they didn't listen to PD when he told them not to leave their sippy cups on the floor. They do it anyway, in response to Grandpa tripping on the sippy cups, causing the sippy cups to come to life after using a can of Canarigro, getting PD's lab destroyed. So yeah, screw them. Oh, and about the action scenes, you know, with the climax, it wasn't that good at all. It wasn't. Oh yeah, the first half, we're talking about fighting the sippy cups, it was just okay. What ruined it was that plot convenient fly swatter store had the giant fly swatter, and it ended up with DogMan losing the battle. Oh, this is probably just a nitpick, but it's the illustrations. This is a recurring thing that's happened since book 4. I mean book 5. It's just the illustrations look too clean. I honestly prefer that illustration style from books 3 to 4. You know, when you can tell they were rougher on the edges, but it also looks clean. A good mix of both. But here, as I said before, it looks too clean. Oh, and probably the biggest problem with this book is PD's backstory. For what it did to the continuity. This is something that I picked up on that seemingly no one else did. So remember when I said that there were references to Dave Pilkey's older books, you know, the older DogMan books? Well, there are also references to Super Diaper Baby. You're probably wondering why this is such a problem. Well, it is a problem because it's somehow saying that Super Diaper Baby and DogMan are canon, like set in the same universe. And if this series is supposed to be canon, mind you, then how do you explain all of this? At least when the fact that Penny can somehow walk on 2 legs, where in the original book, where in Super Diaper Baby, he can only walk on 4 legs, because, you know, cats do that. But no, somehow he can walk on his own 2 legs. I'm not even gonna tackle with the whole PD's parents thing, because I honestly have no idea where to start. Also, what makes it even worse, and makes his plot hole even bigger plot hole than already was before, is what happened to Super Diaper Baby and Diaper Dog? It never explains what happened to them. Did they retire? Die or something? It's never really explained what happened to them. Oh, and you're probably gonna tell me, oh, but Blue Bear. PD walks on his own in the first 3 books that you claim are great. So what's your problem with that? The reason I don't have a problem with that is because I thought it was gonna be set in I thought DogMan was gonna be set in its own continuity. But nope. Jeff Pilkey had to drop the ball on that. And make Super Diaper Baby 2 canon to DogMan. I've been saving all my complaints for this book for a long time. I'm finally happy to release it all out. Anyways, let's move on. The characters are a mixed bag. DogMan, he was nothing special in this book. You would just cut him out and nothing would change. He was just a background character, as I said. The only good part is that I liked that he was trying to help Chief. That was a good moment, I guess. Chief... He was also nothing special. I didn't really feel bad for him at all. He was just crying the whole time. He was also just another he was also just another B plot for the story. I'm also kind of conflicted with his love between Nurse Lady. I honestly just don't see them as a couple, but whatever works for them. But honestly, I only thought that he and Sarah would make a great couple. But those are just my thoughts. Little PD and Molly, they suck. They really suck. Moving on to PD, he was the highlight in this book. I kind of liked his backstory, despite it breaking continuity. It was so a nice touch. I really felt bad for him when he was constantly getting his spotlight taken away by Little PD and Molly, who wouldn't shut up. Oh, and as for Sarah, she was just okay. The part where I didn't like her was when, you know, PD's interview was happening. She also kept interrupting him and not letting him talk. Oh, and also when Little PD and Molly came in and started interrupting PD, she did absolutely nothing about it, but brought the microphone over to them. She didn't tell them to back off because this was PD's interview. She let them interrupt PD's interview with their stupid poop jokes and stupid songs about poop and diarrhea. Oh, and as for Nurse Lady, she was nothing special either. Grandpa and Commander Cupcake, They were just okay. Just okay. Grandpa in disguise was just okay, nothing much. Oh, but Big Jim was a complete idiot. Seriously, how did he not notice? How did he not notice his little imperfections as like robot when he kept playing when he said something else? Are you seriously telling me that he didn't hear Grandpa inside they didn't hear Grandpa? Seriously? Don't just hit that cliche when like the character doesn't see that the villain is in a disguise. Oh, and as for the story, it was mediocre. Moving on. And at number 11, we have DogMan. 20,000 Fleas Under the Sea. Really, the only two things that were good were the illustrations, which were pretty good, by the way, and the messages at the end. Literally, that's it. That's all that was good. There are just so many things wrong with this book. The story, below average. The characters, obnoxious. Not a single one of these characters were good. Okay, if I said that, I'd be lying. There's a guy who's running the Shark Shack, which I didn't really blame him for I didn't really blame him for wanting to beat up DogMan, because DogMan pretty much trashed this entire restaurant while chasing a squirrel. And there's also Petey, to some extent, because he isn't really likable here either, with some of the lines that he says. But I still do kind of feel bad for him, especially at the end, which I consider to be the worst thing in the entire series. And then there are the friendly friends who suck and are stupid and I hate them. Probably Molly's worst appearance here in the series by far. Especially during the climax. Especially when the climax, which he didn't care that her friends were getting eaten just because they didn't have Lightning Dude. Well, here's a wild idea. Have Molly be Lightning Dude. Do you guys care more about your stupid costumes and image than saving your friends? And by the time they do that, it's already too late. They got eaten by the monster. Oh, and speaking of that monster, I'm just gonna say it. He's the worst villain Dave Pilkey has ever created. Say what you want about the sippy cups, and as bad as they were, at least they didn't let people get in their way. When Mike the Fly starts shouting at the monster that there will be no more pies for him unless he lets them all go, the monster could have just grabbed the pies that were in front of him, ate them all up, and then ate the rest of them, and then just got out of that submarine. But no, he doesn't. Piggy, a character who I used to like, suddenly gets flanderized into an unlikable brat. Oh, and then there are the songs. When I first listened to them, I thought they were pretty good, but now they're horrible. The only song that I kinda like is the rendition of the Jingle Bell song, The Friendly Friends. That was okay. Oh, and there's that meta humor when Dave Pilkey acknowledges that he forgets his characters, and that he acknowledges that he's repeating the same sentences repeated by past characters, which honestly just feels a little pointless. Also, this is also proof that Dave Pilkey has too many characters in this series. Sarah was also kind of unlikable. I didn't really like the scene in the middle half when she was yelling at the super buddies. None of them even wanted to save the world. They only did it because Sarah yelled at them too. Like Sarah, if you want to go save the world so badly, then why don't you go do it yourself? What annoyed me was the scene where Chief and Nurse Lady beat up the guy who was running the Shark Shack. And also the scene where a dog pees on the guy's area. I also didn't like how the townspeople reacted. You'd think after Sarah did that whole interview that they'd, maybe change their minds. Well, no, because they didn't care because they're too busy paying attention. They were only interested in Little Petey and Molly because they're the good guys, or just didn't care when they heard that the story was about Petey because they hate him so much. Also, I really didn't like when it said that fear and anger makes people happy. How? How in any way does that make people happy? In other words, this book sucks, end of story. But hey, at least the Cat Kid Comic Club series has been proven over these two pieces of crap. Oh, and speaking of that series, here's a ranking of the book so far. I haven't read the 5th one, but I think I may or may not read that. I don't know. But anyways, sorry for being harsh on these two books. These are just my opinions. If you agree or disagree with my opinions, then that's fine. Anyways, the reason I'm not reviewing I'm not reviewing book 12 is because I don't have it yet, and I can't find a PDF of it online. There may be one, but that'll wait for next time. Anyways, goodbye.